Hello dear all Form 2 students. So in the past few weeks you have done the e-learning. You should familiarize with the e-class. Okay, so that in the first stage you have some of the guideline like this. Okay, so that we have looked at some of the videos which is related to Landslide. Okay, so that's they have the introduction about the landslide, and then in the second cycle, okay, in the second phases, we have reviewed some of the natural hazard which is related to flooding. Okay, so that you also should have watched the videos like what is flooding, and then how the Hong Kong government deal with the problem of flooding. And then at the third phases, okay, so that in the last week we also have some of the video about typhoon. Okay, so that in the coming lessons or in the coming cycle, we are still looking at the natural hazards, so that we will talk about the landslide, and then also the natural hazards related to the weather and climate. So that's typhoon is one of it. Okay, so that I've give you different kinds of the videos to look at the first glance about it. But then in the coming week, okay, in the coming phases, we will start looking at landslide, okay, through the PowerPoint and also through the videos, so that you start to do some of the preparation. So that's according to the guidelines here. So you need to prepare your geography textbook, okay, which is the orange book, and then also prepare your notebook, and then I will give you the teaching video like this through the YouTube, okay, and then they have the PowerPoint attached, so that you can click here to download the PowerPoint and then open it, okay, and then they have the activity of the Let's Explore on page 18 in your textbook. Okay, so that previously we will do the activity, okay, in our book like this. Okay, but then I don't know whether you have done it or not, so that I've prepared the Google form for you. Okay, so that you just click this link and then you will find the Google form. Okay, so that please fill in your name, okay, full name, the class, your class number, and then follow the textbook, okay, and then to give me the answer like this. Okay, so that and then afterwards click the to submit, okay, afterwards. And then so that let us back to our PowerPoint to see that what we will learn in chapter 3 of our textbook. Okay, so let us go to the PowerPoint here. Okay, so before the first term examination, we have talked about different kinds of the features, the relief features in Hong Kong, and also the math reading skills. But then in the chapter 3, we start to look at the natural hazards, because in our Form 2 geography, we look at different kinds of the natural hazards. Okay, we talked about the earthquake, volcanic eruption, flooding, droughts, typhoon, landslides, etc. Okay, so that the landslide is one of the major types of the natural hazards in Hong Kong. So we will look at it in chapter 3. So for the Let's Explore, okay, the activity on page 18. So please complete these activities, okay, through the Google form, so that I can know whether you have done it or not. Okay, so please submit it before the 8th of March. Okay, so that after you have done this activity, so that let us look at what is landslide. So that in the textbook, it is on page 19. Okay, so that let us take out our textbook and turn our book to page 19. Okay, so that we will look at the main they have two paragraphs to describe what is landslide. Okay, so that please refers to the textbook on the first paragraph first. Okay, so that here we will look at what is the definition of landslide. Okay, so that the landslide is refers to the rapid downward slip of the slope material along the slope under the influence of gravity. Okay, so that's there are three main points, okay, with the definition of landslide. So that if it is a 3 marks questions in our examination, what is landslide, then you need to give me the 3 components. Okay, so for the first one, landslide is a rapid downward slip. okay, is a fast movement. Okay, different kind of material will slide down along the slope very fast. Okay, so there's a rapid movement and also is a downwards movement. Okay, and then so that there are different kinds of material will slide down along the slope. So what kind of material will slide down? So that all the things on the slope will slide down. So that for the textbook, okay, it's talking about on the slope they have the soil, they have the rocks, they have the plants, or maybe they have some of the human structures. Okay, there are the buildings or the people on it. Then all of these things will slide down along the slope. Okay, and then why? The different kind of material will slide down along the slope. It is due to the influence of the gravity in our Earth. We have the gravity, so all the things on Earth will pull down. Okay, will pull towards the ground. Okay, pull towards the Earth due to the gravity. So that it is a natural thing, as a natural phenomenon. Okay, but then in the normal day, okay, we can see that not all the things will slide down along the slope. Okay, they will stay on the slope. Okay, then there should have some of the power, okay, to let the things stay on the slope. Okay, but then so that they have the two force, they are competing with each other. Okay, so that the gravity, it will compete with another power. Okay, to see that whether it can pull down the slope material or the slope material can hold on the slope. Okay, so that's the gravity will pull the material downwards. Okay, it is one of the power. Okay, the gravity want to pull different kind of things. Okay, downwards the slope. But then they have another things. They have another power that it can hold the material on the slope. It is a friction and cohesion. Okay, so friction in Chinese 摩擦力. Okay, and then cohesion 凝聚力. Okay, so that the friction and cohesion, they can hold the soil particles on the slope and prevent it from falling down. Okay, prevent it pulling by the gravity. Okay, so that when we talk about the landslide, we must learn that they have two major forces. Okay, they are competing with each other, the gravity and also the friction and cohesion. Okay, so that in your textbook, so that in the first paragraph, we have talked about what is the definition of the landslide. Okay, and then at the second paragraph, it is talking about the two force, the gravity, okay, and then the friction and cohesion. So therefore here you can highlight, okay, the definition of the landslide first, okay, and then also highlight in the second paragraph what is the gravity. It is a pulling force. Okay, and then what is the friction and cohesion? They are the competing power which can hold the soil material or other kind, maybe the rocks, etc., on the slope and preventing it from falling down, pulled by the gravity. Okay, so that's when we look at the two figure here. Okay, when we look at the two figure here, so that in this slope, okay, it is just gentle slope. Okay, so that the power of gravity is less, okay, than the friction and cohesion. Then the material will stay in situ. Okay, the word in situ, INSITU, it means that the material will stay at the original place. In situ 即係解留在原地。Okay, so that if the friction and cohesion is great enough to withstand the gravity, then the slope material will not falling down. Okay, it will stay on the slope, stay on the original place. But then if the slope is very steep like this, okay, or the material have a very low friction and low cohesion among them, okay, the gravity is great enough to pull down the material along the slope. And then so that the slope material slide down along the slope surface. Okay, so that here we have a basic idea about what is the landslide. Okay, and then so in the next part we will look at why do landslides occur in Hong Kong, so that we will look at the factors. Okay, what are those factors which will cause the landslide to occur? Okay, so that start from the page 19, page 20, and then also page 21 they have 5 factors which leading to landslide. Okay, and it is also describing to telling that why in Hong Kong we have a high chance of landslide. Okay, so we will continue it in the next parts. So we will stop here first. So that's for here you need to look at. Okay, so maybe we can also look at some PowerPoint slide here first. So that's when we talk about, okay, there are 2 major forces to hold the things, okay, or if we pull down the things, it includes the gravity and also the friction. Okay, but if we don't want to just say gravity and friction, then we can use like the form like this, the gravitational force. 地心吸力的能力. Okay, so it is also coming from the word gravity. Okay, so it's related to gravity. Okay, and then frictional force, 摩擦的力量. Okay, so that is also come from the word friction. Okay, so that when you look at the word gravity, okay, you can also have another form like the gravitational force, and then the friction, okay, it is also the force of the friction, is a frictional force. So that's we are talking about these 2 forces, okay, will determine whether the slope material will slide down along the slope or it can stay on the slope. Okay, to see that whether which force or which power is greater than the other. Okay, so that's it will cause, if the gravity is greater than friction, the slope will become unstable. When the slope is unstable, the material will easily to fall down along the slope. Okay, so that's in the next part we will look at, okay, there are different factors leading to landslide. So in the next lesson we will start to look at the 5 factors leading to landslide in Hong Kong.